See, Larry Gordon, and I just want to make sure, I think he might have signed up for a different topic, but Todd Caulfield, are you still here? No, I know, but he actually didn't realize he was signing up for chronic pain. Okay. All right, and I think that's everybody that I see signed up.
Okay, so please just go ahead and introduce yourself. Let us know if you have any financial conflicts of interest on this topic.
Hi, my name is Larry Gordon, and I have no conflict of interest. I'm just a regular Oregon. Since I only have a minute of time, all I can do is tell you what we experienced because of the opioid guidelines by the CDC. My wife is a chronic pain patient, severe chronic, intractable pain patient. She has no history of drug abuse, never any situation like that. Our primary care physician of over 20 years, all of a sudden when the guidelines came out, he's the one that knows her situation intimately. He came up and told us he has no choice. He has to take her. He cannot prescribe opioids anymore, and he cannot be the doctor for her anymore. Now, this is a guy that knows everything. He says no, he can't do it. And the reason he's saying this is because he's afraid that they're going to take his license. And you can understand that. And I mean, he says, and again he says, I have hundreds of patients in my practice, and you're the only one on high opioids. So what do you think he does with that? He gets rid of that patient. That's what's happening in the real world. Doctors are abandoning their patients left and right. We were sent to an anesthesiologist who knew nothing of her situation, didn't look at her 30 years of history, and went ahead and said, all you can do is we're going to completely taper you off, force taper her off opioids. We took somebody that was functioning, had a family, was able to do their daily business. They took her completely off her opioids and absolutely destroyed her. She got to the point she went 14 months without sleep. She lost 40% of her body weight. She lost all of her muscle tone due to inactivity. She has multiple sclerosis, which was controlled and fine. Now it's the worst it's been in over 20 years. It's just insane that what's happening in the real world. Everybody has good intentions here, but in the real world, that's not what's happening. They took her off and pushed the buprenorphine, which is the darling of the addiction. When we finally got to the point where she couldn't stand it anymore and we contemplated suicide, I begged him, okay, can we at least try the buprenorphine? He said, no, you can't. The only way you can try that is if you admit that you're a drug addict. And that's exactly, she said, no, I won't do that. Why would I? I have no symptoms of that, nothing. They just let her go, that's it. You know, I mean, there's people out there dying because of this. And I understand you all have well intentions, and so did the CDC, but that's not what's happening. In the real world, there's patients being abandoned. There's people committing suicide. It's absolutely insane. And basically the problem is that, you know, most doctors and Americans don't understand the difference between dependence and addiction to opioids. They're two completely different things in the sphere of opioids, and they should be addressed completely differently. I mean, if you take away the opioids from a drug addict, he has a chance at a new life, a family, and a hope for the future. If you take it away from somebody who has chronic, intractable, severe pain that can't stand living without that, and that's the only thing that has worked for them, they go straight to suicide. And that's what happened to us. If it wasn't a miracle that we found a physician that doesn't have a lot of patients and was able to take the time and diagnose exactly what was going on, and what they have to do, like say, my primary care physician, he doesn't have the time to prepare a case because he knows he's going to be called before the board because he prescribed more than 90 MMEs.
Okay, I have to have you wrap it up.
Okay, I'm just saying, in the real world, this is crazy, and I just don't know how else to explain it. I mean, I could talk for hours on this. It's unbelievable. I've had to sit down and talk to my children until mom's going to kill herself because there's no one to help. No one. There's nowhere to go. What are you supposed to? It's the most helpless thing in the world. Isn't it? It's sick to think that we got to the point where we actually decided that there was no help and it's time for suicide. And it feels good. It's refreshing. It's satisfying. Finally, a release from the hell. There's no reason that should happen to people who have done nothing wrong. That's all.
Thank you.